Yo, what's going on?
Going on, bro? How you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you doing?
Doing great. Another late night, getting a video in. Gots to.
Yes, sir.
So today, such an experience.
Before
Um,
you jump into that, as soon as I click start, I was thinking like maybe we can talk a little bit about what we're planning for the end of January. I don't know if that's something you want to make public.
for the end of January.
We had a three-way FaceTime call with a homie while he was in the middle of the grind.
Oh, yes.
Can talk
Yes.
about that. But first
No,
off,
no, no,
start
you're
with your
right.
story.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's cool. That's a cool topic. But go ahead and start with your story. I
Yeah.
want to hear first.
So today it was an experience for sure. The light on my truck came out for the battery. It under the popped the hood open, started, it sounded very strange. Toyota Tacoma 2010, little blueberry, everybody knows it. Um, I got stranded. We're on the phone. I was like, hey, bro, we'll talk later. I gotta call Ben. He's the one who helped me out eventually, but I got stranded out in the road, and that's the very first time for me. I never had that happen to me, so it was very neat that I have the mentality that I do now. Very grateful for it because I didn't panic or anything. I was very composed. I was very, I was not undergoing any type of stress or anything like that. So looking back at it now, it's like I handled it very well. But anyways, my alternator went out and I had the part, I had everything ready to go. We went out to Ben, shout out to Ben, huge, huge help. Took about an hour, a little over an hour, and I learned a ton under that hood in that truck. I'm not, really the hands-on, mechanic, but today was definitely a learning curve, learning experience that, things happen and, it is what it is. I got stranded out there and could have been worse. Could have been worse, always.
You know what's
So,
funny though is I like that you said your mentality because of it, it was different, outcome. Because I was talking about that and I even posted it on my story how your perspective really will determine the life that you live. Like while you were talking about that, I was like thinking to myself, have I ever been stranded? And I remember four of us. I think it was like four of us. It was me that I remember. It was me, Pedro, and Julian, and I think Chris, if I'm not mistaken. And we were driving to Mackinac Island from Florida to Michigan,
um,
and we drove Pedro's car, and it was like a Honda Civic. It was pretty old. And so I remember asking him, like, hey, is this going to be a reliable vehicle to take us from point A to point B? He said, yes, I just went to the mechanic. Everything's good, this and that. I'm telling you, we were like 7 hours in, and we're like in the middle of God knows where. I don't know where we're at, but we're on the highway, and I think we're like on I-85 or I-70, something like that. And I don't know what state we're in. I think it was like South Carolina or something like that, maybe. And like I'm driving. I kid you not, I'm driving, and the car like s- like the brakes stop working.
the
Like
brakes.
the brake stopped working in a sense, like I'm pressing down the brake and it's slowing down, but it's not like stopping. And the steering wheel locks. Like I couldn't like I could move it, but it was so hard. Like it just locked on me. I got so scared and I pulled over and we were like there and like it was overheating. We stood there. We're like in the middle of like it's hot like midday, and we chill there for an hour on the side of the road waiting for the car to cool down, and then we start running again, and then the same thing happens. We're like, this is way too risky. Like we have no clue what to do. We literally wait in the side of the road till it gets dark out so that the sun wouldn't be, harming the car. We drive to the closest airport and we get a car. There was so much more to that story than what I've shared. Like there was like we couldn't find a rental car. They wouldn't rent it to me because I was underage. All of my friends, they had like no credit card on them, and it was so much chaos. Finally, we figured it out. But it was funny, like Pedro felt so bad. And I was like, bro, this is great. Like, we're okay. We're fine. Like, we're figuring it out. Like, the mentality caused like the whole scenario to just be totally different. And it kind of reminded me of that. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
I do remember. I do remember my parents. Either I was with my parents or my parents called me that. they were worried because you were out there middle of nowhere, like you said, and you guys didn't, weren't able to have, you guys didn't have a credit card on you or something to put on file, right, to be able to get a car. But yeah, it just comes to show that your mentality is everything, right? Anything can happen, any issue can come up, and it's just the way that you view it. What do you get out of it, right? So in my scenario, yes, I got stranded, but good thing I had my colleague was right down the road, 5 minutes, not too bad. And he jumped me cables. We pulled to his house. I already had the part ready to go and everything. It took about an hour and a little over an hour, and got it done. Very, very grateful for him. Drove it back home and everything's fine. So it's definitely one of those things that I'm pretty sure 5 years ago, me, if that made sense, 5 years ago, me, yeah, um, I would have viewed the situation very differently. I would have either been frustrated or upset because, the alternator was like two something. It's one of those moments where you come to realize that I've become this person that is able to handle things like that. And of course, again, like I said, it could be much worse, right? It could be something else, needed in the car. But I'm very grateful that it worked out the way it did. It was almost as if it was perfect timing. So everything worked out.
Yeah, man, the mindset is priceless. I mean, just to give you the last example, I mean, on my birthday, I crashed in the Camaro
Oh
and the
yeah,
car was
that's
totaled.
insane.
I rear-ended somebody. My grandma called me when I went to hang up on the phone on like it was on Bluetooth. I look up, the guy slammed his brakes and I rear-end him. The Camaro was totaled. I remember getting out of that car and looking at the car, and the first thought that came to my mind was thank God. Thank God that it happened to me and not somebody else that knees would have buckled. I was like so fired up. I was like, let's go. Like, this means that I have a lot of good stuff coming my way, and God's like testing me to see like can he handle adversity. I felt so good and it was on my birthday. And funny enough, I had a
I
meeting
do
to jump
remember
into right after, literally right after. So I walked home and I got on the meeting. And during the meeting, the insurance company, because I had already called them, was calling me back, and I didn't answer because I was in a meeting. I said my priorities are 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 in line, and I will figure this out later. That was fire, and I was like, how would I have handled that in the past? Man, it's a
that.
priceless mentality when you kind of grow within the time.
I still remember your phone call after what happened. You called my parents and I still remember you saying those same exact words. You were repeating them to yourself, and it's very powerful. It's very powerful. Mentality is the most important thing. It's how you view everything, and how you can turn a negative situation into a positive and really pick it apart and find the good in everything that happens, right? I mean, first and foremost, you were safe, thank God, right? The
Right.
people that you hit, everybody was safe, right?
Everyone
Apart
was
from
safe
that,
except my insurance company because they got sued. But it's funny because now we talk about okay, we have a strong mentality, but now not only do we want to test our mentality, but we want to test our physical being
mhm,
with our challenge coming up. It's a good
yeah,
segue to talk about our
yeah, that
challenge.
is
I'll let you
that
do
is
the
perfect.
honors.
That is perfect. So yeah, at work, and the company I work for, our CEO, he, him and I were talking, and I was letting him know, Pat, his name is. I was speaking to Pat and I was letting him know that I got back into running. As many of you have seen, or at least on my Insta, Investadan, I've been posting miles here and there, 3, 2.5, 3.5 miles here and there, right? Honestly, it's like therapeutic for me now. It's like I want the runner's high. I want to just run and listen to music and put on a podcast, put on an audiobook. It's been a great experience so far. We're just running and just again therapeutic to me. And I was having a conversation with him one time, and he asked me, "How much are you running right now?" I was like, "Really? I'm averaging about 7 miles a week right now, and mile a day. It's you know more than I used to run for sure. I definitely have gotten into it." And he was telling me, he's like, there's a marathon. It's called the Donna Marathon that they do here in Jacksonville Beach." He's like, "You should give it a try. If you've been all into the running." And at first, I didn't really. I mean, I noted it down to do more research on it later, but it never occurred to me. to just go for it. A week and a half passed by, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, that's a great bucket list thing, something that you want to do before like you die, like it's one of those things and just straightforward, right? That's literally what I told myself. I was like, that'd be a great life bucket list or life, yeah, life bucket list. And that's when I had called you, or no, I called Leo. I called Leo because I know he's a huge runner. So I called him like, hey, what do you think? Is this something you'd be like down to do? And he was, I mean, he's going for it, right? And then that's when Leo had called you. We all communicated. And so yeah, I'm very excited. The start of the training of prepping has started just like Monday is officially mentally when it started. So so far so good. Today's what, Wednesday? The last couple of days, I think I have a mile five, like almost 6 miles ran in the last couple of days. So it's a
Nice.
great start. It's a great start. I mean, right now, today was my rest day. I didn't run, but I felt like I needed some rest to then tomorrow get back at it. Um, One of the podcasts that I listened to from the top 10 habits from Jim Rohn is never neglect rest. It's I think a lot of the times we are all like, get to work, grind, you can rest when you die, or like, there's so many different sayings that criticize people who take rest. And I think we often overlook how important the rest is, right? Today, again, I felt my body needed the rest. Tomorrow is a new day. I can give it my all tomorrow. It's not like I have to do something every single day or push myself. That's how you get burnt out. And in that podcast, he also says to do exercises often and just little by little start increasing gradually how much work you're putting in. So now, the marathon consists of 26.2 miles. So it's like every single day, every single week, or every single day or every other day for the next weeks, months. It's like little by little, I'll be increasing how much I'm running. And the goal is to run at least a half marathon a month before the marathon is actually happens. So the marathon is on February 1st, and my goal is to do a half marathon or a little over half a marathon closer to the end of this year to beginning of January to really just start prepping. So
That's incredible. And honestly, my favorite thing to of the whole idea is just pushing your limits. Like, I think it's always cool to like expand your horizon because then it almost shows you. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast or if it was just on our phone call, but it's kind of like a video game. Like there's a map where like you need to keep exploring, and I feel like that's life. You got to keep exploring different stuff to like find different new capacities. Like because we were uncomfortable and we've grown, the mentality when we have adversity like our issues, it's a lot better and a lot stronger mentality. And I think you can't really get to that point without growth. And a lot of people think growth is measured in time, but growth is measured in change. It doesn't matter. Like sometimes age comes alone. Sometimes you don't get wiser as you get older. Sometimes age just comes alone. So you got to realize that. Like imagine if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and you don't like exceed like your zone of comfort. Like you're just there's like a limitation on yourself. So I didn't want to do the marathon, but the moment Alan told me, oh, you're down to do it, my skin like curled in and like my body was like 26.2 miles. I was like, heck no. But as soon as I felt that, I was like, okay, this is my sign that I have to do it because this is very, very uncomfortable. Very, very like, oh, this is kind of crazy. And that's a great indicator that you should follow through with that. So I committed to on Monday. I used to run like decent, like consistently, but I stopped and I haven't ran in a while. So Monday I did 2.5 miles and today I did 2 miles. So I'm at like 4.5 miles for the week. Um,
nice.
so
That's great.
so we'll
That's
see.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been what, only 3 days. That's amazing for sure.
Yeah. So
And
kudos to you guys for pushing my limits.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I think that's what it's all about, man. It's being in the right environment only pushes you. And before you know it, I mean, you and I, obviously, we never ran a marathon before, so it's new to the both of us, right? It's not like
Facts. We're not
we've
like
been
Leo
down
just
on
running him
run.
in his sleep.
Oh no, Leo's a different animal for
He's a
sure.
beast,
That
man. He
guy,
just
yeah,
runs
for
him in his
sure.
sleep, man.
So it's like we each put we push each other, right? Leo pushes me, I push you, you push Leo. It's like it's just being around in the right environment, you know. And you know,
100%.
another thing that I want to mention is like the more I run, it's interesting. The run does not get easier. I'm just getting better,
Say it again. Say
you
it again.
know? And anything you do,
Say it
it's like the
again.
more you do it, it's not that it's getting easier, it's just that you're getting better and you're adapting to more. Help me out here.
I didn't know I was on the podcast with Jim Rohn right now. This
Hey, hey,
man's
hey.
going
No,
crazy.
seriously though, I think about it all the time. It's like it's not to me personally, it's not a good saying to say, oh, it's just getting easier and easier and easier. No, it's just you're just adapting, you're growing, you're getting
And here's
better.
the beauty about it. You're getting better and better and better, so it's getting easier. But now your goal is to find something else that is hard. So then you can get better and better and better and make that hard and easy. And then as
Mhm.
soon as it gets easy, you find a new hard and you find a new hard and you
You
find a
find a
new
new
hard
hard and then you find a
every
new
time.
better.
Hard, get better, easy, find a new hard
Yeah.
and rotate and keep going, keep
Yeah.
going, keep going, keep
Yeah,
going.
so the next steps would be to start running 10Ks. 10Ks, yeah, it's what
Oh, like
6.5
5.2,
miles?
5.2 or something like that.
You
5.3.
sure? I thought it was so
Because a
3.1.
5K, 5K
5K
is
is three point
three.
one, 3.2. So a 10K would be like a 6.5, something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So the whole goal is to just to keep upping it and exactly like you said, well, very well said. If it's getting easier, if it's getting too comfortable and you're not pushing your limits, increase. You know, it's just like the gym, right? Increasing weights. It's just like anything you do in life. That's I think that's it's I'm glad you mentioned that because I think it really I don't think long term being comfortable is will benefit you in the long run. So
I agree. Any closing thoughts?
no, I'm all set, man. I extremely grateful to God for another beautiful night. Fortunately today I did get stalled out middle of the road, but
You said fortunately, right?
fortunately, no, I said unfortunately,
Oh,
but
it's
yeah, you're
fortunately.
right. It's fortunate.
Fortunately.
Very fortunate. I'm here. I'm
That's right.
alive.
Yeah.
I'm safe.
Fortunately, you have a vehicle that can
You're
actually
right.
break down on you.
That's exactly right.
Thank you,
That's exactly,
God.
yeah, what a
What a
mentality.
blessing.
What a mentality shift. But yeah, bro, thanks a lot. It's a great night, great evening, and yeah,
That's right. Have a good night, bro. Good talking to you.
bro, have a good night.
All right, brother.